another warm welcome to the realm of Pony Island. There's going to be a little bit of difference between the previous recorded video and the one you're seeing right now. Here I'm going to throw in all tickets. Jumping to the run here, brief description of all tickets. All tickets is kind of this game's 100%. So we're going to have to finish the game while collecting all 24 collectible tickets and fighting the true final boss that we get to fight by doing so. The first two tickets are found right at the beginning of the game by hitting the free ticket button in the menu and then also watching the credits that you can watch after going to the options. Unfortunately, I messed up a little bit of movement in the options menu where what I was trying to do was the back button fell off of where the back button was supposed to be, so I had to move it back. A small thing I can try and do there is move or catch the back button in midair at the same time I click the free ticket button, and it just saves a little bit of time due to having to move your mouse left because you killed two birds with one stone. Unfortunately, I missed that because that's a very precise timing with also how precise the mouse movement has to be throughout all of this game. But now we're getting into gameplay. We have our pony here. It moves at a set speed with no stopping, so it's kind of like an auto-scroller, but we have to jump over gates. Otherwise, we get sent back to the beginning of the level, which is not fun, by the way. But that's fine. One thing you might notice as I go through the run and collect these tickets is that they're very well hidden, some of them. But the one strat I have here is just make sure the mouse is where I want it to be beforehand, because I don't have anything to do with my mouse right now. I just kind of have to sit here and jump. The mouse will be used in gameplay later, but that's a stone will turn when we get to it. So ticket number 3 is going to be in a secret portal right here. I'm going to have to drag these two arrows to dispense a ticket. There it is. Ticket number 3. And coming up, we actually have one of the hardest parts of the all tickets run. Once we crash the game here by moving this key, I am going to be doing a whole load of multitasking. By playing an arcade game while talking to Hopeless Soul and Satan, respectively. So you can see here, I'm trying to press enter at the right time and also do the right clicks to advance this cutscene, while also playing Pony Galaxy up in the corner here. I already got the ticket from pressing all the ticket icons on the desktop, but to get a ticket here, I have to get over 50 points in Pony Galaxy. This is actually really hard multitask. However, there is a point later in the run where I can play Pony Galaxy. So, if I mess that up now, I can do it later. Fortunately, I didn't mess it up now. I got a ticket for getting 51 points. And now I can just wait for this cutscene to end. Every time I mash enter here, the game's gonna start. I can stop mashing now, though. I save a little bit of time by keeping my mouse right there. And now for ticket number 6, we're going to get into a very topical thing, because this is going to happen a lot throughout the run. Whenever you get to a title screen, click the left pony head. It will almost always have something good for you. In this case, it has a ticket. So coming up now, I'm going to die. Because that's what you do. In all actuality, I can't get into the options until I game over. So I'm going to game over. And then I'm going to get into advanced options. Going to get ticket number 7 here by doing all this. And then we're going to continue on with story stuff. So here we have to do 3 puzzles in order to get into the lasers, where they're really gonna drive home the block swap mid-run. We can no longer just complete puzzles with one swap of blocks. We have to do stuff while the key is moving, which can be pretty tricky if your timing's off, or if you're just not in a good mouse position. I don't have to do much mouse stuff during puzzles, though, so it just comes into a lot of, you know, trying to optimize by moving arrows at weird times. And also just having fast mouse movement. It's done now, though. I can, bam. Here I'm going to more focus on the specifics of the run I'm doing right now. So if you're watching this run and thinking, hey, I really want to learn about the tech of this run that I'm explaining, I would recommend watching the any% submission video, because I go a lot deeper into what makes this game the speed game as it is. But as a quick description, I'm killing enemies on a delay to try and stop more enemies from spawning, because killing enemies lags the game. Unfortunately, in my attempt to grab the randomly spawning ticket number 8 there, I accidentally jumped into a gate, meaning I now have to restart from the beginning of this level. Jumping into a gate like that is bad news, and can waste a lot of time if it happens. So unfortunately, that's just something I'm going to have to put up with when the time at the end of the run is not as good as I would like it to be. But there's always time saves to be had on a run, so I'm not going to dwell too much on that, because we still do have 2 levels of this to do. Also, the progress bar is broken. The progress bar here is going to kind of be on screen longer than it is. So these levels take a bit longer and are actually pretty good for donations due to said length. Of course, provided I don't spend the whole level talking about kill delays, which is a very reasonable thing, and why I'm not doing it right now. But again, that's what the any% submission video is for. I'm just gonna not worry about kill delay, because I'll reach the flagpole there before. I kind of get a sense for this after running for too long. I don't exactly time these levels, but I have played this game enough due to just how much I wanted to play it, to where I do know when a lot of things are happening. But now that we're done with that, we're going to get into a big thing. We're going to get into pausing the game. Pausing the game not only lets you see your actual cursor, not just the in-game screen one, but also makes the game around you freeze. So I'm going to use that to skip all of Azazel, just like that, because the delete core file button is actually still active. And that is going to be way faster than doing whatever the hell the game wants me to do normally. Which is actually unlocking the cage by doing 4 puzzles where Azazel's trying to kind of block you. Now we're getting into Act 2. I'm going to do some setup here. So, please talk to me. I'm going to open up Triangle and move it about here. About there is going to be good. And then I'm going to wait for Hopeless Soul to give me his password. If I can kind of activate a sequence break if I go into his account before intended, which lets me skip the entirety of Chapter 2. I like doing that, however, there are tickets in Chapter 2 that I kind of have to go to. I could go straight to the main event of Act 2, however, tickets. So, let's... Wait a minute. I'm going to wait until he tells me about the corrupted file, or the corrupted profile, rather. Which he'll do in a second, and then I'm going to try and break it. I'm going to do 2 things here. I'm going to get that ticket, and I'm going to click this eyeball just to go back into my own account and get that ticket. Going to go into this account, Gonna log in because the passwords are consistent. Play Settlers of Catan because that's what you do during a speed run, I guess. But in all actuality, if I get 3... I messed it up. Okay, hold up. Let's see if I can't reset that. I don't know how to reset this. That works. I don't know why that didn't work. I've never had to back up like that before, and I'm not exactly sure what happened. Maybe I didn't roll enough, actually. I know the problem now. But yeah, I need to get 3 stats in a row to be 6. And I get a ticket for that. And that's half the tickets, actually. Within 10 minutes, we have half the tickets. However, this game likes to drag on. So, unfortunately, it's going to take quite a bit longer to get the rest of them. I also lied. That was the 10th ticket. That was the 12th ticket, rather. That was the 12th? Yeah, that was the 12th ticket. I'm not blanking. What are you talking about? No, in all actuality, though, yeah, the early game in this game moves really quickly, but then once you get to about this point, things are going to slow to a crawl for quite a while. So, I'm going to get some puzzles where I'm going to be introduced to teleporter squares. If I have 2 purple squares on the board, when the key touches 1, its next move will be to move to the other. And with that, we can enter adventure mode. And we're going to be told that where we want to go is to the north. So let's play video games for a bit. Am I right or am I right? Coming up here, we need to get our lasers back because we don't have those right now. They're taken away after the data breach, so I'm going to set up this puzzle to loop for a segment so that the laser power will be above 1, or above 0, at least 1, and we can skip, we can't skip half the level. I don't know why that word came into my head. It's because something important will happen at the halfway point of this level that I'm not going to get to because I accidentally messed up killing an enemy. However, we can kill the enemies now, which is the very important part. Kill delays are the biggest thing of this section because kill delays will not lag the game. And although that's not too important in just the 2 levels where that's relevant in any percent, here in adventure mode where you're doing way more Pony Island levels than you ever would in any other category, except for the other category that you're required to do this in, I guess. It can be pretty big. It can also be pretty big to keep those big enemies alive. However, in the first couple of levels, they love to just be the biggest nuisance imaginable. So until I get the wings, which makes it so much easier to dodge those guys, I'm actually going to be killing them. And I'm even going to be killing another one at a later point in the level, but I'm going to be trying to manipulate things to reduce lag throughout all of adventure mode. And that's not only talking about kill delays. Here, we don't have the wings, though, so we need to grind for EXP at EXP Beach. Which I'm gonna kill this guy because this level actually is like very hard to do with that guy on your back due to just gate layouts. That guy shoots the big guys shoot their projectiles on a timer from as soon as they spawn, intervals of time that are always consistent between each shot before the next one. And let's just say the interval of time in between each shot in combination with the gate layout in this level is very mean. So I like to get rid of that guy just because it makes this level so much easier. And you've already seen me die twice. I don't need to do that a third time. Also, pause cancels. Pause cancels at the end of level will save maybe a half a second to a quarter. Not a quarter. Half a second to maybe like 4/5 of a second at the end of each level, and they will add up with the amount of levels I need to play. We gained 1 EXP from this level. We want more. So we're going to actually have like the one useful part of the reset signs in order to boost our EXP up to 120 so I can teleport over the back to 0 button and get level 2 with 100 EXP where we can get the pony wings. And with the pony wings, every time we pull these out, they're going to lag the game a tiny bit, just like getting a kill. So I'm going to try not to kill them, or not to deploy them unnecessarily. However, I do need to do it to go over this gap and finish this level. And get to the next level. So, here's our first full level with the new wings. You might see portions where I might be able to, like, pull the wings back in a little bit sooner. However, it's not having the wings out that lags the game. It's just deploying the wings. So, if I pull my wings out, I'm going to try and make the most of them. I can also try and stack laggable actions like deploying wings and shooting enemies to save a little bit of time. Going for ticket 13 here, I'm trying to click like that to make the map movement funny. So I can grab the ticket in the middle of that lake. And then what I'm trying to do is grab this coin. Once I grab this coin, there is a special event on the overworld in which I can go to a hidden spot that is now available right back there. Oh, to here, to here, to this dock, to this boat. I'm going to save a little bit of time here on menu movement, or on map movement, because you can see me kind of off the edge of the boat, still trying to walk onto it. This is boat glitch. It happens when your pathing is really funny, and it means you have to walk less, so that's good. I'm going to be able to play as a Crusader, which doesn't actually do anything, but I now have 14 tickets, so that's why I went all the way to do that. You have to unlock this part of the world map by getting that coin. So, unfortunately, this is kind of a very long detour here. But now we're going to be back in action. With this level. Which, I mentioned earlier about stacking laggable actions. That's going to come into play here. So one thing you're going to see is right after the second large pit in this level, in which I'm actually going to have to do that, I'm going to start shooting these guys. Now there are two big enemies on top of each other. However, by shooting both of them on the same frame, they don't both emit lag. Only one of them will. Or they will to accommodate for the fact that there's more than one. So it saves a little bit of time. It saves about a second by killing those two separately. Because you will not live with all three big enemies on screen. That is a promise. Here we're going to use our only puzzle solution, in which we use an arrow against a wall. If a sideways moving arrow is against a wall, is pointing to a wall, rather, that it is directly next to, it will act as a down arrow. And that is the quickest solution to the puzzle that I just did there to unlock this next stage. So now I just need to move through here. I explained in my previous video why kill delays are very scary. So you can see me playing safe and killing these things rather early, but still delaying well enough to get some time save off of it. I forgot to pull out the wings there and almost died. It happens to the best, right? So here we just need to click some squares as the cursor points to them. The squares are in consistent places, very similar to the puzzles that we did when we first unlocked the lasers. So I just need to move to them and hope that the game moving doesn't screw me up. Here in the desert, we're going to get introduced to the bigger enemies, which are like the big enemies, but they have more health. They move around the screen, the right side of the screen, quite a bit, and their projectiles are much bigger. So they're harder to dodge. They're basically just more dangerous. However, in this level, they should not be an issue. As long as I do my wing movement right. Of course, the combination of gates and enemies that I do need to kill will kind of try to screw me over here. However, I'm not going to worry too much about them. There we go. And now we can head into the last level of adventure mode. Actually, we're almost done with this. Trying to stick in the air for those first 2 projectiles and then use the air on the third. This level has a lot of management, but we can do that same thing from earlier to try and reduce the amount of lag on this level. I messed it up, unfortunately, as to where I was at a very bad angle on my height, so I could not make the most of the height, and I unfortunately ate a bullet. So I'm going to play it safe on this attempt and just try and kill one at a time. As I mentioned with the previous level in which that strat was employed, combination enemies are very, very ruthless. However, I'm finally through them all. So now, we're going to be asked to stop playing for a little bit because the devil wants to code more levels. Because the game can't be over this fast, can it? So to actually press no, we're going to have to do a puzzle. And here we get to an unfortunate part of level 2, or Act 2 rather, where just, like, the puzzles become very repetitive. We have to just wait around for the numbers to hit what we want them to be at in order to get to the end of the puzzle. But we eventually get there, and we can say no, and the game will move us on to the Satan Tech Keep, where we're going to have a small cutscene. We can have a sip of water, I guess, because I need that. And he hypes up a boss fight. Oh, I knocked my headphones out, so I'm sorry if the audio messes up a little bit here. There we go. I'm so sorry about that. I knocked my headphone cord out. But fortunately, it was during a cutscene, so I had the time to fix it. And now we're going to navigate this glitchy mess. We're eventually going to find a title screen. And we're going to do a puzzle here. And then once that gets there, we're going to loop just like this. Once the loop hits this, we're going to move things some more. And then we can move down here. In this second glitchy mess, if I move down here, there is a glitchy Cinnabar Island. And if I walk along Cinnabar Coast, I can get a missing no, who comes with a ticket. I accidentally unfocused the game there while trying to move to the left. To this loading bar. And now we have to wait some more. This puzzle takes a very long time, but eventually we get the number we want and we can do this. This A data puzzle lets us leak into the B data gain without hitting the B data loss button. Bump, 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 bing. And then once we get here, I can mess up a little bit, but it's actually fine. There we go. Nope. Okay. There's a little bit of a funky mechanic when it comes to actually moving the key, where it can teleport back to a place from earlier. And it can mess this puzzle up very poorly, because as you can see right at the beginning, sets all the datas back to 0. Fortunately, I'm moving the wrong way. But also, fortunately, I didn't mess that up. That is an awful time loss to have happen. So here we just need to move to Satan Tech Keep. in the upside down map world. But before I do this, I'm actually going to go down here. There's a hidden character down here that can give us a cutscene. And at the end of this cutscene is a ticket. So I'm going to wait for a visual cue where the screen does a kind of CRT staticky flash. Alright, so yeah, at the end of that cutscene with a hidden character known as Blair, we can get a ticket. Surprise! The devil's the final boss. Let's fight him. Also, that's the colon close square bracket. That's the most important part of the whole game. We're not going to fight him, by the way. We're going to actually fight the real boss. So coming into here, we have the second core file guardian. We have Beelzebub. If you couldn't tell, this game uses accurate demon lore. Wow. The thing about Beelzebub, though, is that, as you can see, this mouth shoots out spikes. I don't want it to shoot out spikes, so out of all 3 attacks this guy has, I'm going to attempt to deal with the mouth first. This way, as you can see, no more spike shooting for the rest of the level, or for the boss, rather. And, hey, that just makes it a little bit faster, because that means I can focus my laser more on these elements of his body, and there you go. That is the fight against Beelzebub. Now, we're going to wait through cutscenes, because that's what you do in Pony Island. We're going to have a small talk with the devil about how we're being led astray. No. We're not. I'm having a fun time. But the important thing here is that this is going to actually be the deletion of the second core file. However, it's going to set up a major plot point for the entirety of Act 3, in which we are gonna double die. Alright. So now we're getting into Act 3. We've been poison gassed, I guess. And now we're in the future with a renovated version of Pony Island. Once again, the left pony head always gives you what you want. If you want a ticket, that is. I do want a ticket. Thank you, game. So kind. But the important part is that we're now in Act 3. Act 3 sucks. Not actually, but in a kind of joking way, I guess you could say that. Act 3's main feature is that it is renovated to be more friendly, to try and allure you again. Satan really wants your soul, and he's going to be as kind as he needs to get it. Or mean. I don't know. You could view this as either one. However, gameplay's still pretty simple. We don't have all of our abilities yet, but we will get them back as we advance through these levels. So right now, I'm just going to be jumping at the right time. Pause canceling is once again in this area. However, I only need to pause cancel 5 levels as opposed to however many levels are in adventure mode. I've always meant to count that, but I never have. I wonder what that's about. But no lag this time when it comes to killing enemies. So I can just blow away these butterflies at my heart's content, and they can't do anything to stop me. Ha ha ha. I'm just having fun with this category. That's what this category is all about. You want to have fun with the game, you do all tickets. I guess. I don't know. It depends if you find this game fun. I personally find this game a lot of fun, which is why I love running it like I do, and why I really want to show it off to as many people as possible. Oh yeah, we have our wings back, by the way. They look cool. Whoop. There we go. Got a hair off my screen. That's a productive cutscene. Actually, since I've died a few times in this run already, I'm gonna give you a little secret. That wasn't a cutscene. That was an actual designed part of the level. So if I die, I have to walk on that very long stretch again. Fortunately, I've made it past that level, so I don't have to walk on that long stretch again, but it could have happened. And there we go. That's the first glitch flagpole. Now we're going to be heading into the first puzzle break. Okay, I'm losing a little bit of time here because I lost track of the mouse on my screen. But I do need to fail this puzzle because I don't have the key to success right now. I don't have the key to the streets. Fortunately, Louie's going to give it to me. So with the new arrow sign, we can very easily complete some of these puzzles. Alright. Now back to gameplay, we get corrupted butterflies. We cannot touch these things, otherwise we die. It looks kind of funny as a death animation, but I don't want to look at that right now. I want to look at success. So I'm going to keep breezing through these levels. We've got another 3 here before the next puzzle break, as a heads up. So one of them has a lot to explain, but donation time is abundant in this game, if you couldn't tell. Even though there is a lot to explain, there is a lot that I can just have downtime. That being said, the third level of the next 3, I'm going to want to talk because I'm going to want to focus, and I focus well while talking, actually. But one thing you might notice is also the progress bar is back, so I can finally track how close I am to the end of some of these levels, which is something that's great for my conscience when running this game, is to just know my progress in a level, so I know to calm down, or to panic in terms of the next level, but I'll tell you about it. So coming up, we're going to finish level 6, get into level 7. First thing, ticket. Next thing, Jesus. So I talk about Jesus extensively in my any % run, where I'm not able to talk about big enemies in Chapter 2 because I skip all of Chapter 2. But I talk about how bad Jesus is with the anti-butterfly shield, or the corrupted butterfly shield, rather. One thing I might have mentioned in my any % video, but I don't quite remember at this point, is that he has a ticket. So I can't kill Jesus if I want to do the all tickets requirement. I was very lucky, fortunately. I only got 1 pattern with normal butterflies. Obviously, ideally there, you'll get 3 patterns full of corrupted butterflies, so you don't even have to shoot a single gust of wind. I only had to shoot 1, and fortunately it was a good position of pink butterflies to where that was a non-issue, which is a blessing of all tickets runs, because that doesn't happen sometimes. But that's all the puzzle breaks. And now we can go to this level here. Although our gust of wind will not lag the game in this level, our wing deploys will. So I'm going to try and not do that. Even though sometimes the game will make me. Oh! I can talk about this! So that's the enemy freeze glitch. Now, I don't know why that happens, and it might not happen, because I think it might have to do with my computer being awful. But sometimes the enemies in this game just stop. And it's fine. It means they don't attack you. It's actually good in some of the levels because it means that you don't get attacked by butterflies. Meaning you don't have to kill them. Meaning you don't lag the game. I really don't know why it happens, but I'll accept it. I have had it happen where it's happened on a ring of butterflies and then I've stepped on them and they've killed me. That's less fun, but for the most part, I'm usually a fan of getting the enemy freeze glitch in runs. And there we go. That puzzle's now completed. Well, once the cutscene goes through. Here we have a ticket we need to get on this screen. I should have 19. Yep. I need to click 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to click the faces in those order. You can see the order by this little thingy here. The 1, 2, 3, 4 in this corner. But now we're just going to wait because we've done everything we can do on this screen. Now that we have 20 of the tickets. Every beta version of Pony Island coming up in the recycling bin is going to have its own ticket. So we're about to play 3 quote-unquote beta versions of Pony Island, which are basically a Pony Island level with a twist to them. And each of them will have a ticket hidden inside them, which will bring our total up to 23. Now, the last ticket has a lot of weird stuff involving it. But these next 3 are going to be pretty simple. This first one, we're going to go to the left head of the pony, like always. In Pony Island 3D, it's actually a cube. With a ticket emblem on it. We don't have to actually see the full emblem, so you might not have been able to tell what it was there, because I heard myself got the ticket, so I just kind of moved on, but it's always the left head of the pony, you know? You can't deny the left head of the pony. There we go. Of course, we also have to actually play these beta versions, so not much is happening. There's no enemies in Pony Island 3D. We can't shoot the laser, and we don't have wings. It's kind of like the very beginning version of the game. So bang. That's 1 down. We're going to do Devil Island next. And Ticket 22 takes a long time. I'll give you this warning now. For Ticket 22, we are going to wait for the left pony head. Not to say it isn't there, because it totally is there. However, you can see whenever my mouse is over it, it does this. I have to wait for this blood to fill up the entire screen to get Ticket 22. I like Twitter. Yeah, so this is another, like, quick donation. A lot of those happens in parts like this in the game, where you just have, like, a cutscene layered on a cutscene layered on a small bit of gameplay that has a lot of things going on around it. And, of course, the secret message isn't enough, so we need a ticket. There we go. I don't know why this arcade machine computer thing has both toxic gas launchers and a ticket dispenser. But I guess it's just is what you gotta do to entertain your crowd. I don't know how hard a crowd of Lost Souls are to entertain, but the devil's covering a lot of bases. Now, this is actually the last kind of level like this we're gonna play that we can actually, like, die in. We can't lose time in the finale section, so once I'm through this, I'm not gonna worry about them anymore. I don't know, it depends what you want to consider things. Hey, that's an enemy freeze. That is actually useful, because now I don't need to kill that guy, which will cause a little bit less lag, because I think that actually stopped an enemy wave entirely from spawning, and also, I pause canceled. That's the last pause cancel of the run. A lot of tech we're never going to see again, because they're not relevant anymore. But here we have the last version. We're going to get into text-based. We're going to get ticket 23 in a pretty funny way. Of course, I know the script. There's a script to this, and I know it. I know it completely. So let's do it. Cool. I remembered to type in options. Sometimes I forget to do that. I kind of was rushing to do it in the any % submission video where I was getting more in-depth with explanations, so I had to, like, do it a little bit late. But I can do that now. I can enter options, and I can go through the options. One of the options you might see is very good. And it's not just fixed start menu. It's actually free ticket. So I got a free ticket, and I fixed the start menu, so now I can press the start button. And now we're just on our way to do basically any % stuff for a very long time. You know, we have to do this normally, and then we have Asmodeus, and then we have the end game, which is a lot of cutscene that you can't speed up at all. So, as just an unfortunity of the run, it's going to be very slow and very any % for a while. There is going to be an extra layer to something that is in the any % run, but I will keep that surprise for when it happens. For now, it's Twitter time, it's donation time, it's... I'd recommend just watching the any % video for this, because I already put much more effort into my commentary there. Not to say I want to put more effort into that category total, but honestly, a lot of the things in this game can be a doozy to explain. It can be a mouthful to explain twice. Normal sentences are even a mouthful to me. So it's really just kind of definitive. I do want to give this category the love it deserves. However, it honestly can get boring like this, which is, I feel like, a big problem. Any % obviously has these portions, has the same problems, but this is just a longer category, so it falls under the trap of being less preferred because of being the longer category. Now we're into Asmodeus. What Asmodeus doesn't know is I'm looking at a thing called Twitter right now. If you remember Blair from earlier, the character that was hidden at the bottom part of the map in level 2's glitched upside down map, you will get a little secret bonus text, but it's slow. Trust me. It obviously, in this section, more text you have to sit through, which is why losing is such a bad thing. The more text you have to sit through, the worse it is. So, I'm just going to do whatever options give me the least amount of text here. All right. Here we have an easy character, or an easy answer. An easy animal. There are a lot of words that would have worked better, but I am bad with words. Let's not typo. That's a very bad thing to do. So here's where the change comes between all tickets and any percent. There's a ticket here. So if you remember, I did a strat where I paused to force Asmodeus to fail me. I'm going to do that, except I'm actually going to go to the graphics settings, because there's a ticket button in the graphics settings. I'm losing my mind just even saying that out loud, like it's impossible, but it's in this game, and it is required for this category. I don't know why. I think it's a good hiding place, because who would look at the graphic settings after they're already in the game? Why would you not do that immediately? I know I did, and I never 100% of this game until I looked at the speedrun route. But, like... Alright, we're done with Act 3. Now we're gonna get into finale, baby. Alright, now we can actually get into the finale cutscene itself. So we're going to get into our skate portion, where I don't have to do anything. Let's talk about world record history, right? Is that a good thing? Is that a good discussion topic? Please help. Let's talk about history of running this game. I talked a lot about what I think makes this speed game capable during my previous submission video for any percent for this marathon. I haven't submitted previously. Of course, April Cakes has. April Cakes has never held a record, which doesn't matter because she's still a great person and great at this game. But I joined this community when she was a high-level runner. I joined this community in 2017, where at the time, a lot of optimizations hadn't been made yet. Everybody had the strats laid out, but nobody really had pushed this game that far. At the time, we thought times like Figure Bits 101 in all tickets, or JH's 3530 in any percent were top times, which they're still very good times and still very respected in the community, but they have since been smashed by other runners. Of course, I was the first one to really start pushing boundaries, but other runners such as Ava Sam and Norillanthos also went for boundaries that have been pushed. And Norillanthos was actually the originator of pushing the any percent record down a bit before I was able to take it in 2017's August, or autumn, fall. It was in August. I don't know names. But the point is, it was great to be someone who was able to take, like, the resources from this game and show what could be done with them. And that's something I hope to do with the crowd at GDQ. But then there's also all tickets. I've also been able to take times down in no major skips, but that's just because no major skips is a very unpopular category within the community itself. And all tickets was held by Figure 8-Bit for a very long time, because he was the first one to do a run, and it was a very good run at that, mind you. 101.02 or 101.12, I don't remember exactly, is a very respectable all tickets time. But it was a runner named Rooch who really found all tickets optimizations and took the category lower to about 1 hour 27 seconds. The current record stands by me in a not very good run in 1 hour 20 seconds, just 7 seconds faster than Rooch's time. However, I feel like this is a category that I need motivation to want to push to its, like, glory. Because I don't know if this is the category that I want to continue in. Of course, I do love this category a lot, and showing it off would be a dream. Because I feel like, ultimately, marathoners like this category more, because there's more going on. There's definitely less confusing stuff. It's definitely more time to make everything seem cohesive to an outside viewer who doesn't know a lot about Pony Island. And it's a great introduction to the game, I think. Although obviously it is kind of spoilery, and it's a game I definitely recommend people play on their own. I always love showing this game off to people because they're always so interested by this game that seems like a non sequitur to speedrunning. And it being brought out into a light that just gives a good performance. And I am very proud with a lot of my Pony Island performances in places like marathons and triple category runs of this game I've done before, as I hold the crown in all 3 categories. But now, we just have to wait for the system dump to finish. We're at about 70%. Not bad. This is an auto-scroller, so... I don't have any explanation for the glitchy corrupted butterflies, by the way. But did Satan just shoot one of them? Okay, so this is actually kind of bad, I think. I don't know. One thing you want to prevent shooting lasers for, although you can, if you want to work on soul counters, which is a fun little challenge to do, is that if you shoot a corrupted butterfly, it actually doesn't matter. But I've never had Satan shoot the corrupted butterflies, and it was kind of scary. But now that I'm able to reflect on it a little bit more, the counter will kind of, like, freeze for a little bit and then glitch up to where it would be. At that point, once the game kind of refreshes again. But that is the end of the game, technically. But there is still the secret boss fight we get to do for having all 24 tickets. So I'm going to wait here through the credits, and then another cutscene, and then we're going to get into the finale. Donations, notifications, whatever you want to check here. The time. There's no button to speed up the credits. Or skip the credits. Unless it's like a really obscure key combination that nobody's found. But I doubt that's the case, because we've done a lot of stuff. No relation. And here, Hopeless Soul's going to be a little bit confused, because we got all the tickets. But he identifies us as a gamer, which is, take that as you will. Take it or leave it. Take it, leave it, do what you want. But the point is, we want true completion, we want a challenge, we want completion. So he's going to give it to us with a 3-stage boss battle ahead of us. For the beginning of this boss battle, we get the ability to move laterally. That's right. So we have this kind of dreary, musicless fight against the Hopeless Soul here. Hopeless Soul has a few attacks that we need to make sure we're dodging, because as you saw there, whenever I take damage in this fight and die, Hopeless Soul actually regains a little bit of health. So if you're not careful with, you know, getting rid of his attacks and not taking damage, you will take a long time on this fight, because you'll have to deal a lot more damage. This phase is actually probably the hardest of them all, in my opinion. The next phase has some weird stuff in it, but it's pretty simple, and then the third phase is very easy. Now, this is going to be the end of the first phase, and we're going to get into a callback to the very beginning of the run, which you only know about if you were going for the tickets, because it's not in any other run. We have Pony Galaxy. Now, with Pony Galaxy, the way that the firing works involving the pony's hitbox is very weird. So what you're seeing me do is I'm actually going to be trying to move back and forth a lot. Because as you see, when I'm moving towards Hopeless Soul, there's a lot of, like, duplication to the point where I'm kind of firing these laser beams. And this guy has no invincibility frame. So every single, like, pixel of these little beams will deal damage to him. And with all the bullets still moving at the same speed, regardless of where I'm moving, that more bullets moving at him just kind of means that I'm doing more damage to him by wiggling left and right like this, or in situations where I need to dodge these attacks, straight up just plowing into him. However, this pattern that he's replicated the past 3 cycles is literally just the whole fight. So I'm going to be sitting here doing the same exact movements until the health bar is completely empty, and then we'll move on to the third and final phase. So I mentioned earlier there are no lasers in Pony Island 3D. Now there is. In the final phase, we go into the 3D version of Pony Island, and we're able to shoot lasers at Hopeless Soul. Something good about this portion of the fight is that every time he literally does any attack, he's going to be at this part of the screen. right in the middle. And if my laser is positioned well, it will kill all of these enemies before they move to me. So really the only thing that can slow this thing down is me failing to hit him whenever he decides to move around the screen like this. But whether he's summoning enemies at me or dropping a gate on my face, he's going to be in the middle of the screen. And that makes it just so much easier to wail into him because it means that I'm not in any danger and he's completely stationary. So Keim's going to be coming up at the end of this boss fight, just when his health bar runs out, which is going to be right about now. Sub 101 is very good. So, yeah, with this, he's going to say, I'm not going to do anymore. Not even going to shut down the game. And that's true. You will sit on the screen forever. If you don't close the game here, you'll be running on this screen infinitely until you close it. So, thank you. Truly. This is the last video I'm recording for submissions, and I just want to say that I'll probably still be going even if I don't get a game in, but it would mean the world to me. As somebody who's been speedrunning for a very long time and from a very young age, to represent all the communities I'm in, to represent myself as a streamer, and to just kind of give a performance that I hope will give me something to look forward to and give me a reason why I speedrun. Because I do have them, I do enjoy it, but really just give me something to hold on to as why what I do is worth it to help a greater community. So, thank you.